Good evening from London. British rail and transport workers represented by the ASLEF and TSSA unions have voted in favour of strike action in a dispute over pay. Last month, separate strikes brought the rail network close to a standstill over several days when 40,000 workers walked out. The dates for the proposed industrial action have not yet been announced. UK retailers have reported another drop in sales as record high inflation kept consumers from spending on discretionary products and services. The British Retail Consortium said households are reining in spending, with many either downgrading to cheaper brands or slashing items from their grocery lists altogether. In June, sales declined 1.3% year-on-year and 1.5% month-on-month. According to the Polish Central Bank, inflation will peak at 18.8% and economic growth will fall to as low as 0.5% in the first quarter of next year, in part due to the war in Ukraine. Poland has seen some of the fastest price rises in the European Union, with inflation in June hitting 15.6% in annual terms, the highest rate since 1997. The increase is prompting politicians to build their election campaigns around who's to blame. Former Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone has been charged with tax fraud following an investigation into his overseas assets. The Crown Prosecution Service said that it had reviewed a file of evidence from HMRC and decided to charge the 91-year-old with fraud by false representation in respect of his failure to declare assets held overseas believed to be worth £400 million. According to the Sunday Times Rich List, Ecclestone is the 74th richest person in the UK, with an estimated net worth of £2.5 billion. Those are your main stories from London at close of business.
Thanks, Juliana. NASA's $10 billion space telescope has produced stunning images of a stellar nursery and a cosmic dance, revealing the most detailed glimpse of the early universe it's ever seen. The two pictures and others were presented to the world to mark the James Webb Observatory's readiness to begin science operations. The facility has spent the past 6 months since launch undergoing testing. Viewing as the successor to the famous Hubble telescope, Webb is expected to be a dominant force for discovery for at least the next 20 years.
We're going back. You're seeing galaxies that are shining around other galaxies whose light has been bent, and you're seeing just a small little portion of the universe. And that light that you are seeing on one of those little specks has been traveling for over 13 billion years. And by the way, we're going back further, because this is just the first image. They're going back about 13.5 billion years. And since we know the universe is 13.8 billion years old, we're going back almost to the beginning. That is the discovery that we are making.
These images are going to remind the world that America can do big things, and they remind the American people, especially our children, that there's nothing beyond our capacity, nothing beyond our capacity.